to make unique noises, be unique, do something original. And this video will tell you everything you need to know to make the craziest noises you've ever heard in your entire life. In all seriousness, as I will show you in a few moments' time. Whoa, what's that? Multiplier's gone and blown up the universe with a brand new sound design technique that's going to freak you out, and you're going to be like, what the is going on there? I'll show you some more in a few moments' time, but how did I make those? They are insane, and I've never heard anything like that before. That's, I bet, what you're saying right now in your brains. And there's a good reason for that. It's because I'm making it using a brand new music production technique that I guarantee you haven't seen before, unless you've seen one of my courses. I've talked about it in the course on how to stand out on Groove 3, if you've seen that. But anyway, what is this amazing technique? Well, the first thing you may need to have is some form of microphone or some samples. We'll come back to this microphone in a second. It's great. You can use it to make these sorts of noises. Anyway, take some ambience, basically record something or get some recordings off a sample pack company website for free if you want, or pay for them. So get some recordings and take the ambience, so the bits in between the sounds, such as here or here or here. Take these bits of ambience where there appears to be nothing, and then limit it like crazy with about 100 dB of limiting. Literally bring that ambience up with, say, 100 dB of limiting. So effectively turning the whole thing up 100 dB, but then using a limiter to keep it at 0. Effectively taking this, say, a drum loop or something, or just a bunch of you going, or just any noises at all, in fact. But then importantly, you don't even have to make noises, just record the ambience and then bring up the level, say 100 dB, using a limiter. Ideally a limiter with slow. In fact, for the nuances of which limiters to use, we'll do see the course. But there's a general concept here, just bring up that ambience, say 100 dB by stacking limiters, one after the other, so in series. Now, if you were to wanted to record something, if you wanted to guarantee the sounds you're making are not just unique, but actually unique, and therefore sounds that literally no one else in the world could possibly have, record some for yourself, which you could do using this microphone here, which they sent Fifine Technology, can't remember the name, sent it to me to review, and it's fantastic. It plugs in via USB. In all seriousness, I do actually like it. I always check before receiving goods off the internet. It's totally not designed for this. It's designed for Skype calls, gaming, recording vocals, anything at all. It's just a nice and simple microphone that works great. It's got a volume control on the front, which is, in all seriousness, very useful. Comes with this stand as well, again, for a comparatively cheap microphone. Great headphone port thing, so you can plug your headphones in. So if you just want a nice and simple microphone for plugging into your laptop, for either on the go, or you just want a simple solution, maybe you don't want to spend $1,000, or actually more than that, it's £1,000 worth of microphone up there, and then it's going into a £800 preamps, and cables and stuff. So if you don't want to do the expensive TV and film solution from like Hollywood, just get yourself a cheap microphone. And there's even the argument that says for this particular sound design technique, you don't even need the most expensive, amazing sound in the world. I mean, don't get me wrong, this doesn't sound bad. It sounds good. It's a lot cheaper than the other expensive microphones, so it's certainly not going to compete with that MKH 416 from Sennheiser, or the Electro Voice RI20. But so what was my point? Oh yeah, so it's almost, you don't need the best quality for this technique, because you're not really looking for the magic. Comes from the imperfection. The magic comes from the weird hums from, say, street noise or an aeroplane or an AC unit or whatever it is, just random noises. It could be a hum from electrical stuff from the circuitry. So the noises can come from birds, probably not. The noise could come from anywhere, but it's all about bringing up that ambience where you kind of can't hear anything, but then you bring it up enough loads and then you limit it and it goes. In fact, let me show you like this. Pretty impressive. But yes, if you do need a way to record sounds, this is a great way to do it. Link in the description below from Fifine Technology. And in all seriousness, I have been using it. It's really nice just to be able to move it about, plug it in, easy peasy. So far, better sound than the built-in laptop microphone, but I don't have to plug in any fancy sound cards and mics and preamps and all that sort of nonsense. Then just simple plug and play, USB to computer hole, works great. Thumbs up from Multiplier. Give it a go, everybody. Give it a go. And of course, a lot of the magic here is experimentation. It's almost one of my favorite parts about this is it gets you thinking about creating sounds in a whole new way. You're not thinking about synthesis concepts, or you're almost looking for samples with silence. Remember, not complete silence. You don't want to say the ambience gated out in the recording, or say, for example, you don't want to synthesize sound where there are actually silent bits. You want recordings where it appears to be silent, but it isn't. And then when you bring it up in limiting, it just sounds like, it sounds so good. Who would have thought it? Multiplier did a video featuring a product in a way it's not intended. This is not intended to make, but you could, I mean, it's not intended for that, but you could use it for that. This is just a general microphone for talking into. Hello, how are you today? I'm fine. And so on, just normal conversations, or recording vocals, rap vocals, non-rap vocals, other vocals. But you could use it to make crazy noises like this. You could just like hold it out, just like sort of plug it in, do a bit of that, or even in shot, who knows, link below, etc. It's fun. It's a different way of approach. As I say, it's a different way of approaching. I'm going to put that down. It's just distracting holding that. It's fallen over. It's a different way of approaching sound design, as all of a sudden you're looking for samples with gaps or silence, but not silence. It's interesting, and it's a surprise as well, because you'll hear a drum loop, for example, or I don't know, just some ambience or something, but you won't know what the extreme limited version will sound like until you give it a go. So it's fun. It's a surprise. Like, ooh, what's that? It was a spooky ghost that I was looking for, or was I? Very spooky. I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip.